Welcome to MedicalSalesU. I'm Dave Sterrett, your host. Today, right here in the studio in Columbus, Ohio, we have three members of our program right here in the program. So Corey Stewart is with us, just landed a job with Pfizer. How long have you been at Pfizer now?
Since August, so 4 months now.
Okay, 4 months now. Viti Patel just joined our program. You're an on-site specialist with Stryker. Mm-hmm. How long have you been with Stryker?
I think a year and a half now.
Excellent. That's great. And we also have Rue Cotter here with us. And you just landed a new role, too. You joined our program and you landed a job with
Exact Sciences.
Yep. So this is the Columbus, Ohio group here. We've been coaching people across the country how to, break into the industry. We have we've had in our studio today, we have Justin Kershaw from Arthrex, who is speaking. We have Nate Yohe with Boston Scientific. He's teaching our group today. We have guests flying in. But today, we want to take a deep dive into some of the stories of our members whose lives have been changed, who some have kind of reinvented themselves into something new. And let's start with you, Rue.
All right.
Rue Cotter. Tell us a little bit about your story, where you went to college, and what you thought you would be doing when you were 22.
I went to Miami University. That's Miami of Ohio. And I majored in finance. Kind of chose that because I knew it would just give me a versatile background and hoped by graduation I would figure out what I wanted to do. Since at 18, I wasn't quite sure, but I have always been passionate about health and wellness, actually. So after graduation, I was a full-time personal trainer and gym manager. And that's actually how I found out about the medical device industry, because I had someone come up to me after a couple of years, just saw me working hard every day in the gym and was like, I think you'd be a really good fit for our team. And then story starts there and it's still going.
That's great. So that first job actually was in Stryker Trauma, wasn't it?
It was, yes.
Stryker Trauma, you were at Zimmer.
Mm-hmm. Zimmer's Stryker Trauma, followed my team member to Zimmer and did sports medicine there. And then I did also get experience with neuromodulation within Nalu Medical.
Wow. They were just acquired too, right?
They were just acquired by Boston Scientific.
By Boston Scientific, yes. That's right.
So maybe your other guests can shed some light on that.
Why did you decide to move into oncology, diagnostics, and exact sciences?
Yeah, the role just felt like a really awesome blend of pharma and device. There were a lot of aspects that I loved of device. I have always been very motivated and excited by the OR, but it's not always an easy life. It's busy. Hours are not the same. And just the chapter of my life that I'm in now, I wanted something a little more consistent and balanced. And so the diagnostics provided it demands business acumen, clinical confidence, and then also that need to start, develop, and maintain relationships, which is something I've always been great at.
I love that. You were very successful in a number of areas. Why did you decide to join this program, MedicalSalesU? Yeah,
I felt like I hit a bump in the road and was trying to use my network, applying to different stuff, and I just thought it would give me a new perspective. And I talked to a lot of people who were in the program that had awesome things to say. And I was just like, maybe there's something I'm not seeing here in this process. And turns out it was very worth it.
To make that jump into diagnostics, what was the biggest fear, the biggest challenge that you and your mentally had to overcome?
Even though it's, kind of in the same industry, it still felt like starting over and going back to square one is, I don't know, at least for me, it's just always very scary because it's uncertain. You're learning new things. Is this going to be the right path? But I mean, I can tell you a couple weeks in and then a couple months since your program, it's the best decision I've made.
Well, what did the coaching program, what did it help you with the most?
I think definitely the main thing is that never forget that your network is bigger than you think it is. I think you've said before, you probably already know the people who are going to help you next with your role. And that really resonated with me. So in your program, I was already reaching out to a lot of people, but it really challenged me to look on the outer rings of my network, and I started reaching out to people that maybe I would have thought, I don't know, like I don't know them as well. It's been a couple years, and didn't have that confidence to do so. And with your push and advice, two of the contacts that I reached out to where I had final interviews are people that I knew before and were in my network and that I had glossed over initially.
I met a man in Dallas, Texas. His name's Bob Bodine, and he is a sports agent. He works with a lot of coaches and sports programs. And he wrote a book called, I think it's called Know Your Who. I forgot the exact title of it. But the concept was something like, you already know the people you have to know. And sometimes we take for granted those people in our network. But if we can be really strategic in the way we reach out to them, the way we take initiative, they can help us. They may introduce us to someone else. And sometimes we have to almost reinvent our thought process and go back to them, not let our guard down, but go to them with intention. And you never know what door they may open up for us. Rue, you've been in a number of positions. If someone is starting out in a new role, what's your advice to be successful this first 90 days?
Yeah, first 90 days, I think it's really important to get comfortable with the fact that you will not be an expert right away. And regardless of what your background is, if you've been in the industry, it's a new role. It's different people, different providers or surgeons, whatever it may be. So I think it's really important to step back and lower that expert expectation for yourself, and just each day take a little something away from an interaction, a conversation, and just really focus on the small things, because then they end up building into something really big.
Corey, you've started a new role.
Yeah.
What were you successful to do this first 90 days?
Yeah. My first 90 days was like what Rue said, taking that step back and understanding not being comfortable is really key. And then in that uncomfortable moment, being able to rely on people who've been in the industry to get some noteworthy experiences and skills. That way you can continue to carry it on within your own territory.
Corey, we want to jump into your story. You joined our program, MedicalSalesU, nurse. Where were you a nurse here in Columbus? Where was it?
Yeah, so Mount Carmel.
Mount Carmel.
Yep.
Wow. What units were you in?
I was in the cardiovascular ICU. Yeah, so CVICU, open heart recovery. Awesome experience. I highly recommend to all nurses out there.
What? Then you reached out to me.
Yep.
I think beginning of the summer, late spring.
Yep.
What inspired you to reach out to me?
Yeah, reaching out to Dave, man.
Was it through LinkedIn?
It was through LinkedIn, yeah. I definitely dropped into the DMs for sure.
Okay.
And I was spinning out. And my wife was also spinning out because she was pregnant. And she's like, you're trying to change your careers and we're about to have a baby. I need you to lock in more. So I humbled myself, got uncomfortable, like Rui was saying, and said, I need some help. Let me get some help. Let me get some coaching. Let me understand what it means to be a pharmaceutical rep. Let me understand what it means to be a device or a diagnostic sales rep. So let me go to an expert. And you were it.
When you joined, I remember we grabbed barbecue in person.
Yeah.
I started diving into your story, and you told me just very briefly in passing, you're like, and you're kind of soft-spoken. You're like, I went out for Brutus. I'm like, hold on a second. What do you mean by that? You mean that you were the mascot of the Ohio State Brutus Buckeye? That needs to be, if you're going into sales here in Columbus, Ohio, that needs to be part of your story, right? Like that we need it. And so I even coached you. I said, don't shy away from that.
Yeah.
Right? Because these people, they're wondering, like, can this guy, I know he's got the clinical experience as a nurse, but can he sell? And I'm like, look, you've been in front of a stadium at the SHU, 100,000 people. And I moved here 4 years ago. My wife, Michelle, she's here with us. But I remember, Michelle decked me out. Even when we were dating, she gave me this homage Ohio State shirt. It's like, welcome to, Columbus.
That's right.
And I knew when I moved here, I was going to have to embrace the Buckeyes. But I said, that's got to be kind of your story, right? It's a connection point. But you still went through a long process. What was it like interviewing with Pfizer?
Yeah, so my interview with Pfizer was over a course of several weeks. So you have to be really focused and continuously learning about what it means to be a Pfizer employee, Pfizer rep, what that really truly meant. And so my interview process involved a phone call with a recruiter. And it felt very strange because I thought I was talking to an AI person at that time, but it turned out that person was real. Never met him, but shout out to Jose out of Costa Rica. But then I talked to my manager very briefly, like a 3-minute conversation, just confirming that I was interested in the role, but then also confirming that I was willing to relocate. And then the other part that I had to do was sell him within that 3 minutes. And he asked me one simple question: what is the reason I should hire you into my team?
Do you remember the answer you gave to that?
Yeah.
That's a good question. Why should I hire you?
Yeah. So my answer to him, because I told him, he knew that I talked to several people within the team. I said, what you're going to find about me is that I'm going to continuously reach out to somebody until I finally get a yes. So if you don't hire me, somebody else will. And he said, okay, we have an interview on Tuesday. Be ready for another manager.
That's great. I like that. It was different. Viti Patel, also from Columbus. Hello. You grew up in Hilliard. I found out today.
Yep, just down the road.
That's where we live. My wife and I, Michelle and I, we live in Hilliard. We love it.
We live
we live at Heritage Preserve. We like the beauty of the trees, the trails with our kids.
Very woodsy over there.
Yeah, very woodsy over there. We love it. Tell us a little bit about your experience. You just joined the program, but currently you're an on-site specialist at Stryker. Mm-hmm. Tell us about what does it look like to be an on-site specialist with Stryker?
Yeah, that's a great question. I've been an on-site for about 1.5 years now, and my main responsibility is just making sure that I'm the point person the OR calls when anything goes wrong with our tech. And with our tech, I deal a lot with the endoscopy division. And so a lot of minimally invasive surgeries. We use a lot of cameras and scopes. And with that comes towers where you have to plug in all of those things. And so a lot of times I'm kind of their point person to call to make sure that if I need to troubleshoot anything, making sure the case is going well. And so, I've been in that role for about 1.5 years.
You're tech savvy.
Yeah.
Every salesperson wants to have you on their team. That's great.
I know all the cords. I know all the inputs. I can figure it out. But ultimately, I wanted to join the program because I've learned a lot, learned so much in this role. But I think I'm getting a little bit too comfortable. And I definitely want to progress in my career, ultimately, become a leader of people. But, with that comes becoming a sales rep first. And I just need a little bit of more coaching to kind of have the resources to excel in interviews. And so I joined this program hoping that, I can build on those skills and kind of excel and have success there in my next role.
Well, Viti, we're so glad to have you as part of the program. I've looked at our group, our members, and we are all changing. I'm not the same person I was 1 year ago. Mm-hmm. I've gotten better as a coach, as a mentor. We're still evolving. Even today, we have new people coming in, and I learn from them as well. I just got off the phone with Tim Lyons. He's a firefighter, mm-hmm. and he joined the program. He had to move across the country. Actually moved from New York down to Florida, and he got his first job. He was a firefighter, then a nurse, and he retired as a firefighter, and he got a job in device. But his goal was to break into specialty pharma. He called me. He just broke in at a large company, one of the big pharma companies, at a base of 160 plus another 40, and RSUs at 7,500, so 207. Breaking in, reinvented himself. Tim. Yeah, so he just said, "I'll jump on the podcast." I said, "Hey, I'm actually with some of the members. Everybody's new. I think he knew you, right? Yeah. But it's about reinvention." Viti, take us back to college. Okay. Yeah. Did you go to Ohio State? Where did you go?
I did. Yeah.
Go Bucks.
Go Bucks.
What did you major in?
So I majored in biology. I also did a minor in business as well. Just wanted to make sure I had a little bit of business acumen on my side. But my main goal was actually to become a physician. And I was on the pre-med track. COVID hit, actually. I had to take a step back and really do some reflecting about what I wanted to do in my career. With COVID happening in the middle of my college career and also, trying to become a physician and go to med school, I couldn't get in the hospitals, couldn't get into clinics, any volunteering, even the research labs, I wasn't allowed to step foot in. And so I didn't want to take the gap year. I could have done it, but I really wanted to start on my career. I didn't want to take the gap year. And who knew how long COVID was going to go on for, right? I didn't know when the hospitals were going to open back up and allow visitors and volunteers. And so I kind of found myself in a clinical research role. I was a project coordinator for a CRO. And, I asked myself, how can I be a physician without actually being a physician? But how can I also have that business component to it? And so stumbled upon med devices. And here we are now at Stryker as an on-site and wanting to continue on to med devices or pharma, wherever it takes me.
Well, we appreciate you being part of the program. I know you're brand new and you're already jumping on the podcast. I thought, hey, with people coming into Columbus, it'd be great to have a current student. And I know you just joined. So I'm probably putting you on the spot a little bit because you just joined. We're teaching. Have you learned anything, maybe one thing you've learned in the program that you thought, that's a new perspective? Is there anything you've learned so far? I know you're just still brand new to the program.
Yeah, I would say your module over creating the 30, 60, 90 was really, really helpful. I kind of had a thought of what it should look like, using AI on my side. But I think it's extremely hard to know what to put on there when you haven't been in that role. Mm-hmm. I'm in a clinical role now where, I don't have a quota. I don't know what it looks like to go out and meet potential surgeons and clients and customers. And so learning how to navigate that and create a proposal where I can show a potential employer, hey, this is what I'm going to do if I get this role was a little tough for me. And so with the help of that module too, I think that was a really big thing that kind of helped me prepare. And, I'm going to go back to it when the day comes. But
your journey is just beginning.
Yeah,
and it's same with you too.
I got a long way to go.
Well, we all do. And you know what? Here's the thing. This program's growing. We have people reinventing themselves. We've had a number of people, Corey, Rue, you two are, you just went through our program. You've landed new jobs. And great things are in store for you this next year. So we're going to pause here. And by the way, for those of you who are listening to this podcast, we have a number of great guests and teachers. We would love to have you be a part of our program. It's a community. It's not just a course. It's a community and it's personal coaching. It's accountability. So join us at MedicalSalesU. I just wanted to introduce, as we're refilming part of this course and we have guests coming in, I wanted to have some of our members just jump in and say, hey, let's have a podcast today. So thank you so much for listening. You all take care and check us out at MedicalSalesU. If you're trying to break into medical device or pharmaceutical sales, or maybe you're ready to reinvent yourself into a new specialty like oncology, our program, MedicalSalesU, can help.
I'm extremely grateful for Dave Starrett and his program, MedicalSalesU.
I'm now making $60,000 more than I was as a pharmacist.
I highly recommend the program. I just landed an incredible dream job.
Our members come from every background: nurses, pharmacists, teachers, athletes, and they're breaking in fast, averaging $151,875 in 11 and a half weeks. Many are earning over $200K. The industry is changing lives. You can change lives. Check us out at MedicalSalesU. Invest in yourself, and let's get you in the game.